Yeah.
Something on the same lines is right, which I want to ask is how is it different to work in a big design team? As you mentioned, like Booking has over 200 designers.
Yeah.
I really want to know what it's like to work in such a big design team, because I personally have worked only in early stage startups. So I've actually not seen our design team bigger than 5 people. So yeah.
Yeah, I think for me too, before joining Booking, our design team at Zomato would vary between 5 to 10. So, our sketch files would have a certain amount of organization, but a lot of it would be word of mouth and just talking to each other. When I went to Booking, it was definitely overwhelming at the beginning to know that, oh wow, there's so many designers. How will I be able to keep up? But that's something I think over time you kind of get used to people, and you also figure out that all types of people have something to teach you, and you have something to teach them. So I would say the one thing that's very advanced is how the booking or the design system was very mature. So we would have a design system that it has copy guidelines, UI guidelines, UX guidelines. It would also have a prototyping version where you can basically try out the components in real time. There is a formal process to request a change to a component in the design system, and there is a full-fledged design language team that can take your questions. So if you say, hey, I have this component I'm trying to build, should I use a secondary button here, or can I use a tertiary button and remove the padding? And someone will be there to help you answer that. So I think in terms of resource and support, I think having such a big design community at Booking was super helpful to get this support. But then also that design system is translated into 200 languages and internationalized over the entire world. So even with copy, translations, left to right, right to left languages, everything is tested. Accessibility becomes a huge thing. So every component has an accessibility score, and they make sure that that's happening. And I would say whenever there was changes to the design system, the design systems team would take 6 months to help all of us one by one understand what the changes are and help us implement it and audit our design files to make sure we're learning and doing the new things in the way that they anticipated. And they also use that time to collect a lot of feedback. So yeah, it's a massive effort, but they are really good at what they do, and it allows the rest of us to quickly use the design system and build out things for the products that we are working
on. That's actually super interesting. I mean, one thing which I definitely want to know is that how would your work look like as someone working in a team so huge, right? What kind of work would you do? I'm sure you can't go into the specifics, but probably something on the surface, like the kind of work you would do as an individual contributor in the team.
Yeah, so actually that I think opens up two different aspects to this. The first is how we are organized into products. So there are some central teams like the design systems team, but most of the other designers, we are part of different departments. So there is a core department at Booking which focuses on the hotels business. And then there is other opportunities like we have launched flights, we have launched attractions, and I was also on a few of these new product teams. So each of these teams would have maybe 3 or 4 designers, and we work together in kind of a unit. And we do design reviews with each other. We are building features for the product that we're on. So, for example, I was on a team called Trips, which is after you make a booking on your phone, helping you manage that booking from the time of booking till the time you reach the hotel. So helping you change dates, cancel the reservation, get information just before the day of check-in. And so my my team, my trips team, had two or three designers, one copywriter, and one researcher. So we would all work together, take the product requirements from the product managers and leadership, figure out, okay, here's the things we want to spend time on research. So she runs her diary studies and surveys and things like that. Here are features where we know what we want to build, but we want to A/B test it because Booking is big on A/B testing. This is what we'll A/B test with 500,000 users to see which thing actually performs better. So, do people want to be able to call the property, or do they want to be able to message the property, for example? And which of those performs better and reduces customer service? And then the third group was more of bigger features. So one thing that I think we launched was as a user is arriving a few days before their booking, what is all the information we can give them to prepare them for arrival? So COVID rules, properties, phone number, address, types of things like that, which will use the research and build a bigger set of features. So I would mostly work with the two or three or four other people in our UX team, copywriter for copy, researcher for all these leads, and our product managers generally run the A/B tests. So that's how that works. But with so many designers, the other part of it is the kind of growth path that we get at these big companies. So at Booking, I was a product designer. And I could become a senior, I can become a lead, and then I can become like director of design. So that's like the growth path to become more, get more seniority, your responsibilities and your benefits also increase. So a lot of this is also very well defined in these bigger organizations.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Product Stories for more such episodes.